Hi, my name is Preston Parker, and I'm going to be talking about how to clean a fish tank. Fish tanks can be both beautiful and terrifying in the sense of how dirty they can be. So the first process I want to share with you is when you go to clean the fish tank, you want to take all the objects out of the fish tank, whether it be rocks, whether it be plants, but you want to leave the live animals and the fish inside of the tank. But first you want to remove the larger objects, because later on it's going to be difficult to catch these fish and animals to get them out while you're cleaning the tank. Also, while you're taking the objects out of the tank, you want to take the filter out, and you also want to take apart the filter, the different pieces, and you want to clean the inside thoroughly, because once the tank is clean and you put the filter back, you don't want that debris and all the filth and the poop and all that good stuff. You don't want that to go back into your clean tank, okay? So once you have removed everything from out of your tank and you place it somewhere in a room that you don't mind getting dirty, maybe like in a tub, preferably I go outside and I clean everything, because that way I don't have to worry about getting anything wet or dirty. Secondly, after you get all the objects out of the tank, you want to catch the animals or the fish, depending on what you have. I use a net. I also have a turtle, so I could just use my hands to grab the turtle out. If you have bigger fish, use a bigger net. So once you get them out, you want to place your fish and animals in what I call a holding tank. Okay? So instead of filling this holding tank, a separate tank up, which I use this one here, you don't want to put faucet water in it, because that faucet water has chlorine, it has a bunch of metals in there, which can be harmful to the fish or the animals that you have in your tank. So you want to take the water that's actually in the tank already, fill the holding tank up, and then put your fish and animals inside that tank. So that way they're safe, the temperature of the water is the same, so they won't get shot. So once they're in there, you want to get as much water out of the tank as possible, because as you can see, that looks pretty heavy with that much water inside of the tank. So you want to get as much as possible as you can. And depending on the size of your tank, you might need someone to help you. This one's pretty small, I can pick it up by myself. But if there's a bigger one, just ask your wife, your kid, whoever, to help you with that. So what I do is I take the tank completely outside and I grab the garden hose. I spray out the tank, and then after that I take something that can do abrasions. So I take this little scrubby pad here, or a part of it, all I have left, and I go around and I scrub the inside of the tank, because the objects and from the fish and animals, they will leave debris and stains and fogginess on the glass. So you want to go ahead and scrub that really good. And then you're going to go back, grab your garden hose or a cup, wherever you're at, how you're going to clean it. And then you're going to spray it down again and get all the debris that was not loose in the beginning. You're going to spray it down again, and that'll make the glass really shine like this. You know, you can't see anything. It's completely clear. So, so after that, you're going to go back to all the objects that you cleaned earlier, that you took out, your filter, your rocks, your plants, whatever it may be in your tank, and you take those out, and you're going to take them back to the tank. And what I do is I bring the tank back in and place it where it originally was, and then from there I fill it up with water, because you don't want to fill it up with water and then try carrying it back to the place you want it to be. It's going to be a lot more difficult, and you're probably going to pull your back or something. So put the tank back in its original place, fill it up with water, and then you're going to take the objects that you took out earlier, place them back in the tank. And then you're going to take the filter that you cleaned, and you might want to go out and buy a new filter and whatever parts needed for the filter that you have, and then put it back together and put it on your tank. So, and then the next step, once you get the water and the objects in there, you're still going to leave your animals and fish out. But you're going to check the temperature of the water, and you're going to use solution to put in the water, which takes the chlorine and the metals out of the water. So once you do that, you're just going to wait about 10 minutes. You're going to let that water get doctored up so that it's safe for the animals and the fish that you're going to be putting back in. And another important thing is when you're checking the temperature, you want to make sure it's the same temperature as the water previous, because if you put the fish and animals inside that tank, it could shock them, it could make them sick, and eventually it could lead to death. So you don't want to do that for your fish, because for some, they can be very expensive. At the end, after you wait about the 10 minutes for the solution and the temperature, you can go ahead and take the animals in the holding. Okay, so when they're in the holding, don't just dump the water into the new tank, because the whole idea was to clean the tank, have fresh water in it. So you're going to take your net and you're going to scoop the fish or animals, just grab with your hand, and you're going to make sure you're not taking any debris, any poop, anything that you don't want in your fresh tank with them while you're putting them back in. What I do is I scoop the fish up and I use my hand, grab the fish, put it in the tank. That way nothing's going along with the fish. So that's basically the process, and I hope this is helpful for you guys and that you can have a fresh tank all year round. Thank you.